Let's start with the Microsoft Surface Duo 2. Now, this actually did get announced earlier in an earlier event, but it's now starting to come out, and I guess reviewers are getting their hands on it and that sort of thing. I find it an intriguing concept, even like from the first one, although the first one sounded like it was not that great an experience to use, but it sounded like the second one's fixed up a bunch of things. But the thing that sort of struck me was whether or not the concept itself is flawed, just from a design perspective, because there's a couple of barriers in terms of, say, using it as a phone or doing something quickly with it. So in the traditional smartphone form factor, it's quite easy to just flick it open and get to something quickly if you want to do it in under 30 seconds and then get out again. Whereas the Duo 2 and the original Duo had this problem where you have to open it, you have to unlock it. And again, that sounds like first world problems or whatever, but if you think about the efficiency of using the device, it's like adding barriers in there. And unlike the Fold and even the Flip from Samsung, which at least has a screen on the outside to give you meaningful sort of interaction, quick interaction, the Duo doesn't have it. And coupled with the fact that there's an air gap between the two screens, and when you're trying to use the thing as a single screen, you're getting disappearing pixels in the middle, with text disappearing, etc. I have to wonder if any further iterations of this is actually going to solve the fundamental problem in the design itself, even though it is a really intriguing design.
Look, I'm sold on folded phones. A friend let me play with his Samsung Fold the other week. Doesn't mean I'd buy one yet, and I still think they're a couple of generations away. I mean, the Fold's got its own issues, but it's the same effectively as the Duo, but for different reasons. You know, when you fold a phone, it's either going to be too thick, too wide, not connected enough, etc., etc. Now, to use the Samsung Fold, for instance, is a remarkable experience. You start with the skinny front sort of screen, and then it flips and goes to the back, and you've got a laptop in front of you. Amazing. If you want your phone to be long and skinny and as thick as a sandwich, it's perfect. So, I mean, that's the drawback with that. And you've just outlined the issue with the Duo. They're not quite there. They surely will solve this at some point, and then I think we will all have a fold phone. But for now, I just couldn't quite get myself across the line for one in any format.
The other thing to consider too, at least with Microsoft's history in mobile devices, is that they haven't had a really good run trying to get one off the ground and being sort of more broadly adopted. So I can appreciate that they've tried something different here to differentiate themselves from, say, particularly the Samsung devices. But again, they may have to think about it a bit more in terms of getting mainstream adoption for it, particularly at the price points that they seem to be at, which are really high, and not too dissimilar from what the Folds are, which again I think are ridiculously expensive at the moment.
Well, yeah, for a phone that thick and heavy, yeah.